Hi students, in this video let us solve the example 1.5. Consider 4 equal charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 located at 4 different points on a circle of radius 1 meter. Calculate the total force acting on the charge Q1 due to all the other charges. Here we have to use the superposition principle to find the total force on the Q1. I have written the expression for the superposition principle. Here it represents the total force applied on the Q1, which is equal to sum of the forces between the other charges and the charge Q1. First, F12 represents the force applied by the second charge and the first charge. Here it represents the force applied by the third charge and the first charge. F1 represents the force applied by the fourth charge and the first charge. The charges Q2 and Q4 are the equidistance from Q1. The distance between the Q2 and Q1 is equal to the distance between Q4 and Q1. As a result, the strength of the forces F12 and F14 are equal, but they are in a different direction. Here you can observe all are positive charges. There will be a repulsive force among them. The force which is given by the second charge and the first charge, since it is a repulsive force, it will act along this direction. It is a direction of the F12. Here the force which is given by the fourth charge, it is also a repulsive force, so it will act in this direction. Magnitude wise, these two forces are equal, but they are in a different direction. From the diagram easily you can understand. But what about the charge Q3? The charge Q3 is located further compared to Q2 and Q4. Since the magnitude of electrostatic force decreases as distance increases, the strength of the force given by the third charge is lesser than the other two forces. Because you know the expression for force. Force is directly proportional to product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between the two charges. Here, compared to other two charges, Q3 at the more distance, as distance increases, force will be reduced. So compared to other two forces, force given by the third charge, that is F13, is small. But what about the direction of the F13? The force which is given by the third charge, it acts along in this direction, it is act along the x-axis. So you can observe the length of the F13, it is somewhat lesser than the other two forces. You can compare the length. Let us find the magnitude of forces. First let us find the force given by the third charge F13, which is equal to K Q1 Q3 by R31 square. R31 is a distance between the two charges. So K is a constant value. What is the Q value? All the charges are having the same magnitude, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6, 1 micro coulomb. Once again, Q3 also same magnitude, 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6, divided by, what is the R31 value? In the problem itself, they are given the radius of the circle, which is equal to 1 meter. So from Q3 to center, it is 1 meter. Once again, from center to Q1, another 1 meter. So it is 2 meter. For the 2 meter, you have to take square. Since it is a vector quantity, we have to represent the direction of the force. It's act along the positive x-axis. So in a positive x-axis, we have to use the orthogonal vector I cap. Actually, what is the value of K? 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. It has a numerical value 9 into 10 to the power of 9. So 1 into 1, 1. 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6. 10 to the power of minus 12 divided by 4. By solving these values, you can find 2.25 into, here 10 to the power of minus 12 into 10 to the power of 9. So 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton. It's act along x-axis, so is I cap. We have found the force given by the Q3 and the Q1. So what is the value of F13? which is equal to 2.25 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton. Let us find the other two forces. Instead of finding magnitude of both the forces, it is enough to find the magnitude of any one of the forces, because magnitude wise F12 is equal to F14. So let us find F12, which is equal to, what is the expression? K Q1 Q2 by R Q2 by R 21 square. Here R21 is the distance between the first charge and the second charge. To find the distance, let us take this triangular shape. Right angle triangle is there. So here Q1 is there, Q2. This is the center of the circle. Actually, what is the distance here? 1 meter. Because from the center, the charges are at the distance exactly 1 meter. Now you have to find the distance between Q1 and Q2. That is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. Then how can you find? Using the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square, that is equal to sum of the square of other two sides. So 1 square plus 1 square, 1 plus 1, 2. It is a hypotenuse square only. What is the value of hypotenuse? Root 2. Root 2 meter. So root 2 meter is the distance between the Q1 and the Q2. So instead of R21, we can apply the value root 2. So what is the value of K? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into Q1 value is 1 micro coulomb, so 10 to the power of minus 6. Q2 value is also same, 10 to the power of minus 6, divided by, here it is root 2 the whole square. For that we can write 2. Now easily you can solve this. 10 to the power of minus 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6, 10 to the power of minus 12. Here 10 to the power of 9 is there, so 10 to the power of minus 3. 9 is divided by 2. So directly you can write 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton. So magnitude wise, F12 and F14 are equal. So F14 value is also equal to 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton. Even though F12, F14 are equal in magnitude, they are in a different direction. So we have to find the resultant force on the Q1. For that, Q14 and Q12 are divided into its components. So near to the theta, we have the cos component, which is equal to F14 cos theta. Likewise, for this vector, parallel component will be in this direction, F12 cos theta. Then what about the perpendicular component? For the F14, it will act upwards. So here it is F14 sin theta. Likewise, the downward direction, perpendicular component of F12 will be there. So F12 sin theta will be acts downwards. Here you can easily understand perpendicular components are acting in a opposite direction. F14 sin theta and F2 sin theta in a opposite direction. They will cancel each other. So resultant force will be given by the parallel components F14 cos theta and F12 cos theta, because they both are in a same direction. So we have to add the two parallel components and another one force, which is given by the third charge. So it can be replaced as total force, which is equal to F12. So which component is going to give the force? F12 cos theta component. So F12 cos theta plus F13, directly you can write F13 plus F14. Since sin theta perpendicular component is cancelled, F14 cos theta, the component only gives the force on first charge. So we are going to take only cos component. Here we have to apply the value of theta. From the diagram you can understand it is equal to 45 degree. So here you can apply cos 45. So what is the value of F12? Already we have found magnitude 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into cos 45 plus what is the value of F13? 2.25 into 10 to the power of minus 3 plus what is the value of F14? F14 value is also same, 1.45 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into cos 45. Okay, what is the value of cos 45? 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2. Here also, instead of cos 45, we can write 1 by root 2. In this expression, 10 to the power of minus 3 is the common thing that can be taken outside. Instead of writing 1 by root 2, we can write 4.5 divided by root 2. So let us rearrange this. Since all are acting along the positive x-axis, we have to include the I cap. Here also, we can include total force acting on Q1 acting along the positive x-axis. So I cap is introduced here. Now 2.25. Here 4.5 divided by root of 2 can be taken outside. So here 1 plus here also 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Here what will be the value? 1 plus 1, this 2 into 2 is there. Here at the denominator root 2 is there. You know the value of 2, that can be written as root 2 into root 2. So here root 2 is cancelling the 2, means you can write 4.5 into root 2. Know the value of root 2, which is equal to 1.414. That can be multiplied with 4.5. Manually we can do, plus 2.25 is there. After adding all the values, we can get the final value 8.61 into 10 to the power of minus 3. It is a total force acting on the first charge due to the other 3 charges. Since the total force acting along the x-axis, we have to mention the orthogonal vector I cap. The unit of force is Newton.